Let's talk about TurboTax versus FreeTaxUSA. And to this conversation, I want to do a compare and contrast between those two tax preparer services, tax preparer software. And so here's the overview I want you to pay attention to. So basically, when you think about when we compare the FreeTaxUSA to TurboTax, we found that FreeTaxUSA is a great fit for individuals and self-employed business owners on a budget. You got to be on a budget. Meanwhile, we found also that TurboTax is optimal for those needing an advanced level of support that includes full service, tax preparation service, and also filing and unlimited assistance from a tax pro. And bottom line here is that both platforms offer a range of features to help individuals and businesses navigate the complexities of tax season. And ultimately, the choice between the two will depend on your specific needs, budget, and comfort level with navigating tax software. Okay, so let's talk about the TurboTax basics here. So basically, when you think about TurboTax, I want you to think about one of the most popular tax return services and filers can actually choose from. Okay, and so as a filer, you can actually choose from a variety of plans to meet your needs. And the user interface is well designed, and the company provides lots of tools and guides you very well when it comes to their user friendliness, but also their customer support. If that's not enough, you can also get help from a live tax expert. Fantastic. And TurboTax offers the 3 filing options. You have do-it-yourself, live assisted, and live full service. So the do-it-yourself option is actually geared towards the filers with simple tax situations, and the live assisted service lets users get questions answered by a tax expert, and you have a live full service. This will do your return for you, and it's a little costly though. So what about FreeTaxUSA? So when you think about FreeTaxUSA, I want you to think about another player. It's among the least expensive tools to help you file your taxes. It handles the federal and state tax returns and offers features such as automatic transfer of information if you use the program for the previous year's return. You can even scan a PDF of a previous return to get your data into the program. So this is really cool. And so you have basic, you have advanced, you have premium, and you have self-employed. Those are the pricing tiers available within FreeTaxUSA. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. Let's talk about the usage here. So when should you use FreeTaxUSA versus TurboTax? So you want to use FreeTaxUSA if you are a self-employed business owner seeking free federal filing and low-cost state filing. If you're a taxpayer filing returns in multiple states. If you have a rental property, if you are a rental property owner who wants to file a free federal tax return. You want to use TurboTax if you are a QuickBooks self-employed user who wants a comprehensive tax solution. You are a taxpayer who needs to import cryptocurrency transactions. And if you're a small business owner that requires a full service tax support and filing. And if you are a small business owner that needs to file forms 1120S or 1065. Okay. And so let's quickly dig a little deeper here. So basically for FreeTaxUSA, if you're a self-employed business owner seeking free federal filing and low-cost state filing, you want to go with this option because with access to all major tax forms, FreeTaxUSA offers free federal filing and access to more than 350 deductions and credits. This is really good. FreeTaxUSA only charges $14.99 to $20 to file your state return, making this an excellent choice in our view for Schedule C business owners on a budget. And so if you FreeTaxUSA actually is also great also if you want to file returns in multiple states because they charge $15 to $20 while TurboTax charges up to $64 to $90 per state. So this can be a big savings for business owners with income from multiple states. And FreeTaxUSA allows taxpayers to prepare the federal income tax return for free, which is really an ideal solution for confident DIY users who seek free software for complex returns, if you will. TurboTax only allows free federal income tax filing for basic filers with Form 1040, which really includes rental income. Okay, so overall, when you think about QuickBooks versus not QuickBooks, when you think about TurboTax versus FreeTaxUSA, FreeTaxUSA is great on the affordability side. And TurboTax is great for the user friendliness side. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about TurboTax versus FreeTaxUSA. Is there a situation where it's better to use an alternative to TurboTax and FreeTaxUSA? Yes. So basically, if you are a Schedule C business seeking an inexpensive assisted option, you want to go with an alternative. If you are an expat who needs tax services, go with an alternative. If you are a business owner that requires an online program to prepare both individual and business returns, you want to go with another program here. So let's really elaborate a little bit. So if you are a Schedule C business seeking an inexpensive assisted option, while both FreeTaxUSA and TurboTax offer assisted filing, they are rather pricey. So we recommend checking out TaxSlayer, one of our top recommended alternatives specifically for Schedule C businesses seeking free advice. And TaxSlayer actually, for all intents and purposes, lets you file simple returns for free and handles complex self-employed tax situations at a low cost. Free email and phone support is included, and it also has a robust mobile app. So this is really cool. And if you are an expat who needs tax services, neither FreeTaxUSA nor TurboTax support tax filing for expats. Meanwhile, H&R Block provides both DIY and assisted tax services to identify tax benefits specifically for expats. And if you are a business that requires an online program to prepare both individual and business returns, you want to go with an alternative because FreeTaxUSA doesn't offer filing for business returns, and TurboTax only allows for desktop preparation of business returns. And TaxAct is the only software we actually reviewed that allows for online preparation and filing of both individual returns, Form 1040, and business returns. So we're speaking about Forms 1120, 1120S, and 1065. So bottom line here is that you want to go with either TaxAct or H&R Block or TaxSlayer, depending on your situation and depending on the kind of configuration you have for your company or for yourself during a specific year. Let's talk about pricing here. So FreeTaxUSA versus TurboTax pricing, okay? And so when we talk about, first of all, you need to understand, for tax return, FreeTaxUSA Form 1040 only, you have a free edition. You're paying $0 federal, and per state, you're paying $14.99 to $19.99. That's basically the Form 1040 only. For TurboTax, everything is free, but you do have the basic version only. And you have $0 federal and $0 per state. What about Form 1040 with Schedules 1 to 3? FreeTaxUSA, you have a free edition. You have a $0 federal, and per state, you're paying like 19 to 24. For TurboTax, you have to go straight to the deluxe processing tier, and this is actually costing you $69 to $90 federal and $59 to $75 per state. What about Form 40 with rental property, investments, or cryptocurrency? For FreeTaxUSA, you have the free edition, and you have $0 federal. What about TurboTax? Well, you have the Premier, and this will cost you $129 to $150 federal. What about the Form 1040 with self-employment income? Basically, you have the free edition, $0 federal, and $14.99 to $19.99 per state for FreeTaxUSA. For TurboTax, you are paying self-employed, $129 federal and $59 per state. So this is kind of important to really keep that in mind. So bottom line here, as you can see on the screen here, when we talk about FreeTaxUSA, a lot of stuff is free for this software tool, and so you can see on the screen here, you have basic features, advanced features. You're paying basically $0 at the federal level though, and so for TurboTax, things are a little complex and a little more expensive. So when think about TurboTax, think about convenience, think about user friendliness, think about also assisted tax preparation. the ability to speak to an expert, among other things. Stuff that you don't have with FreeTaxUSA. You do not have all of those hand holding, all of that hand holding. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about TurboTax versus FreeTaxUSA. Let's talk about the extras here. So let's talk about FreeTaxUSA versus TurboTax. Live assistance. So when you think about live assistance here, when you have the communication method, you have for FreeTaxUSA, you have email or live chat. This is really cool. You have pro support. Subscribers can actually schedule a virtual meeting. For TurboTax, you have phone, chat, and one-way video conferencing. So this is really cool. And the qualifications are professionals here. You have CPAs, EAs, or tax specialists with both FreeTaxUSA and TurboTax. Do you have tax pro assistance for individual returns? Yes, you do in both cases. But the level of granularity, the level of depth and breadth, the depth and breadth of assistance is higher with TurboTax. And what about tax pro assistance for business returns? Well, FreeTaxUSA, that program is not available. For TurboTax, the program is available in about 14 to 19 states. Do you have a full service filing for individual returns? This option is not applicable with FreeTaxUSA. With TurboTax, you actually have that. And you have a full service filing for business returns. You have that also for TurboTax, but you do not have it for FreeTaxUSA. What about helpful tools? Can we compare and contrast those two players here? So FreeTaxUSA, you do have FreeTaxUSA and TurboTax, both have a deduction maximizer. For audit support, you only get it with FreeTaxUSA if you upgrade to the deluxe sort of tier. You have it with TurboTax, of course. Do you have audit defense? You don't have it with FreeTaxUSA, but you do have it with TurboTax for an additional fee. Do you have cryptocurrency support? Yes, you do have it with TurboTax. And same with tax calculator, import W-2s and 1099s. Those three things, you do not have those capabilities with FreeTaxUSA. What about amended returns and prior year of return filing? That capability is actually available with both tax software. So bottom line here is that you need to understand that even though FreeTaxUSA is cheaper than TurboTax, there are a lot of things that TurboTax does have that FreeTaxUSA does not have. Let's talk about the mobile app here. So when we talk about the FreeTaxUSA app, the bottom line here is that FreeTaxUSA doesn't have an app. TurboTax does have an app, and it's called the TurboTax app. And that app is available for iOS and Android. And there are a lot of products that are supported here. The only thing that you can do with the TurboTax app is that you cannot view, print, save your return as a PDF as of now from the app. So the clear winner between TurboTax and FreeTaxUSA in terms of mobile app is TurboTax. Okay, it has a mobile app for iOS and Android users, and though it only supports the free plan, it lets you communicate live with a tax specialist, e-file your tax return, scan and upload W-2s, and track your IRS refund. So you have the capability there. Let's talk about tax admins to TurboTax, customer service, and ease of use here. So when you talk about FreeTaxUSA, the user interface is easier to use here. And support channel, you have an email or live chat. Pro support subscribers can actually schedule a virtual meeting. That's for FreeTaxUSA. So expert help is offered. And additional services, you have free prior year returns and tax extensions. What about TurboTax here? Well, the situation is more straightforward. The user interface is more straightforward. In terms of support channels, you have phone chat and one-way video conferencing. And in terms of additional services, you have self-employed expense estimator and check your refund status, are really capabilities you can actually avail yourself of when you have TurboTax. So FreeTaxUSA has a clean interface that's easy to navigate, and it lets you set up your account information easily. User-friendly navigation tabs allows you to jump to particular sections of your return, namely income, deductions, and credits, and a tax filing page. You just need to answer a few questions about your tax situation, and then you can determine whether you qualify for particular credits or deductions. So included are helpful explainers of tax concepts and the ability to calculate your estimated tax refund or amount due. So this is kind of cool. Okay, but the bottom line here is that you always have the opportunity to enlist, let's say, an expert to kind of help you out. So, TurboTax versus FreeTaxUSA, what is our verdict here? Our verdict really is that both software tools are great. They are legit. They are really worth your money. The big question is, what do you actually prioritize? Do you prioritize affordability? Do you prioritize DIY accessibility? Do you prioritize live chat assistance? Do you prioritize expert help? What do you prioritize? So if you go with price, then you want to go with FreeTaxUSA. If you go with convenience, you go with TurboTax. Okay, and right now, FreeTaxUSA doesn't offer phone support. However, you can contact the company through email or direct messaging within the software, or search the questions and answers database. FreeTaxUSA's deluxe plan subscribers have access to free chat, priority support, and audit assist. If you sign up for the Pro plan, you get access to a CPA or EA who can answer all of your tax questions. Okay. Now, basically, TurboTax has a free iOS and Android mobile app, and it's one of those things where you have to see what really works for you. And in terms of FreeTaxUSA offering free filing for military personnel and veterans, the answer is yes. Because and the cool thing is that FreeTaxUSA will also assist you with getting the largest refund possible. It really focuses on area relevant to military personnel and veterans, including combat pay exclusion. You have moving expense and uniform deductions, job search expenses, reservist travel deduction, and earned income tax credits for non-taxable combat pay. So this is really cool. And in terms of like the bottom line here is that you have to really, again, going back to what I said, if you are a budget conscious person, then you want to go with FreeTaxUSA, right? But if you don't care about being charged $20 or $10 or $60 or $100, then you want to go with TurboTax. So it's one of those things where you have to. It's really a battle between convenience and affordability, and you have to really make a decision about what really matters to you and how that new decision will impact your life in the days to come. So long story short, we love both of them. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. Let's quickly recap today's conversation. So I spoke to you about TurboTax versus FreeTaxUSA. And so I gave you the overview, the usage, the extras, and the verdict. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.